Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. We've got another question from one of our subscribers to our videos that they want me to try to answer and see if I can explain. Now, one of these is, and I think these kind of all follow together, what is my max depower? What can limit the depower on my kite? Now, most of the kites are preset to a max depower position, and you will see knots on either pulleys or the ones that don't have pulleys. There is a max positioning that that angle can reach its depower ability or angle of attack to the wind. Some kites have a little bit of adjustments on them and either move their bridle up or down. If you pull your bridle in toward the center, your forward connection point would move forward. And that's a very slight movement on there, and that allows more depower in the kite. Now, that's in the bridle. Changing the bridle slightly. Now, what the main question was is a guy had his bar and he was saying, what is my max depower by pushing my bar away? Here's the thing to remember. If your back lines go slack, you are at max depower that kite can depower. Now you're basically losing control of the kite. You're steering control of that kite. So remember that when you're setting up your bar and the positioning, once you get your bar out to a certain point, once your back lines begin to go slack, that's it. That position is preset in the design of the kite. So you say, can I change this? Does it vary at times? It can vary over time due to stretching a bridle, which is very, very slight, and it's not normal. It really depends on how much use that kite has, as well as that can change depower ability in the kite due to the shaping changing by over time as the material begins to stretch. Your luff curve changes shaping and everything else. That can change the positioning as well of the angle of attack of that kite. So on your bar, remember, once your lines begin to go slack, you basically are losing control. It can give you little surges and it can jump forward a little bit more, maybe by feeling like it's going more depower. But once you do that, let's say you pull in the sheeting strap and you push your bar out and your lines are way out, you have lost basically turning response of that kite. And that is very unsafe positioning, because if you catch a gust pulling down the bar, there's a delay before you actually put in control to keep that kite from stalling if it's going to happen in that kite in really gusty conditions. So be aware of that. Can you change that on your kite or the positioning of depowering? If you do, you are changing the manufacturing specs on it, and they have done some work in those kites to keep them from bringing and coming over and stalling. There's a point of which once a kite hits that point, it will stall and fall, what we call Hindenburging. Some kites are very, very self-stabilized, and that's usually in beginner type kites or surf type kites. They are designed to be very, very stable. They have a very high angle of luff curve. They have a very large leading edge, as well as the design of this, such as a delta. Nobody understands that this weight out on this tip and how you set this tip back causes stability. So it almost automatically wants to right itself. So it's definitely a more stable platform to get around if you're looking for stability. But you shouldn't really change those knots very much. If you do, there may be settings from the manufacturers, check their websites, that you can change slightly to increase the depower ability of that kite. So I hope this helps you out a little bit. Again, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. If you have any questions, and see if I can describe it to you to help you understand it, let us know at info@Kiteboarding.com. Have a great day.